I started in high school, and it's just something that I've come back to, especially recently, but it's something I've always loved. I would develop my own film. I produced a couple of yearbooks, and I just kept going with it. And then I got into accounting and business world and that kind of thing. But after my son was born, I felt the best thing that I could do for him was to show, to demonstrate, to follow your dreams. I think that's the most important thing. And contrast, especially, I bring in shapes, the forms, the geometry. There's many elements of that. And I like to integrate nature up against man-made things. While she is sculpted, she is again man-made. This is Bathing Beauty. I was struck by her repose, by her how shapely she was, and her subtle roundness against the angles of the architecture behind her, and how calm and serene she was in the middle of a street. Again, it is just a statue, but it was something I, at that point in my life, had aspired to. Being comfortable with myself, with the world, and as we see it with Frank's works against architecture and things, I think it's a nice comparison. It's a nice complementary piece. This piece is from Colonial Williamsburg, and again, this is soft curves up against very straight angular lines. But again, we're talking about nature, the buds of the old tree coming down, reaching and renewing and greeting again where they live. And that's something I try to capture. You know, you'll see the angles in the pieces, and yet some very conservative. I really don't reach out there. I don't get esoteric. I don't get ethereal with my work. I like it to be grounded. I like it to be geometric. And it's, I hope it captures something that somebody will remember and say, yeah, I did miss that, but gee, I walked right by that spot. I've always experienced the world in terms of shapes and colors, as opposed to, oh, that's a bridge. To me, it's an arc that might be green or brown with some touches of rust, and then I say, oh yeah, that is a bridge. I tend to experience things compositionally as opposed to literally. Somebody else said that, Vermeer. Because it has the blue and the green, and it's got the double entendre almost, and then we also have the light fixture here, and then I made it more grainy, more pixelized. I did not maintain the integrity of the pixels because I thought it gave it extra character that was necessary to help convey the light that was coming through the windows. That gave the picture more life, and that is one of my favorites, absolutely. I was very resistant to digital photography for a very, very long time. I've only gotten to it in the last 3 years, and I started working with software 2 years ago. I was very much purist. This is a pure shot. This is nothing but light and crop. This is Jonathan. This is not Jonathan Livingston Seagull. He is a friend of mine who was in the hospital when I was seeking a name for the title, and I wanted him to know that this is an immature seagull, and I wanted him to know that, you know, life does spring and the light comes forward, and he did make it, by the way. So yeah, this is the Outer Banks last summer. And that's just at sunset, and what I like about this particular piece is, you know, he's got his blonde chest, and this is lighter here, The sand is going into this direction. The setting sun is reflecting on the back of the sand, and it captures his feet and his face in perfect focus. But this was just a magnificent experience for me. I was in 1998 in Paris, walking down the Ile Saint-Louis, and street performers everywhere. I mean, flamethrowers and, you know, Houdinis trying to get out of chains and things. And he was just so composed against, again, the sun setting, just coming above the building from behind, and it just rested in the right place. So I felt that that was a special moment to capture and re-present for people. I put my name to it, but it becomes its own thing. It's not mine.